Hi, all. I am Raju. I am going to teach you how Spring Boot about Spring Boot framework and uh, from basic to advanced level. Okay, so today I am going to cover what is Spring Boot and how to create a simple Spring Boot project. Okay, so Spring Boot is a framework, so that built on top of the Spring Boot framework. If you already know the Spring framework, it is very much easy for you to develop a Spring Boot project. Okay, so mainly it has more advantages over Spring framework. Okay, so it provides why it is advantageous means provide and it is easier and faster way to set up and create and configure and run this Spring Boot project. So many companies they are using this Spring Boot framework so for developing the microservices. I will tell you what is microservice and later on we can learn. So today I am going to show you how to create a simple Spring Boot project. Okay, so to create a simple Spring Boot project, there are many ways. So you can install a plugin called STS in Eclipse if you are using, or you can use directly install a Spring Boot tool, uh, STS tool IDE in your system. So from there you can also creating a project. So I'm showing you one of the ways to create a Spring Boot project. Okay, so just go to Chrome, uh, type Spring Initializer. Okay, when you click on Spring Initializer, it will go to this site. Okay, so here you have to select a Java as a by default it is a Java, so you have to select Java as a language and project Maven as a project. So we are going to create a Maven Spring Boot project. Okay, so most of the places we use Maven only, easier to understand. Okay, so okay, project you can give group as a some demo. Okay, I'm giving you artifact name as a simple Spring Boot demo. So artifact is a jar we are going to generate with a Spring Boot project we are going to create, right? Okay. So I'll keep name as a Spring Boot demo. I'm going to name the package as a com example dot Spring Boot. Okay. So I'm going to select packaging as a jar, which generates the jar as a when you build the Spring Boot project. Okay. So here we have version 21 and 17. Okay, but we don't have 18. It was there earlier, but now it is removed. Uh, in most of the companies projects, they are using the Java 8 version because Java 8 version has more features and which is very much uh, having advanced features easy. So many places they are using Java 8 version only. I will tell you how to change the version in Spring Boot project. Let's now select 17 as a Java version. Okay, here dependencies. No need to add a dependency right now because we are going to create only simple project. So we are not going to add any dependencies. Okay. So now I click on generate. Okay. So I have already generated same kind of project. So it is there. Okay. So I will tell you how to. I will delete this project. So I will show you how to uh, import and run the project. Okay. So this is our project. I'm extracting it. So copy the path and we have to import this project in Eclipse. Import. Just type Maven. So if you type Maven, it gives existing Maven project. Just click on it, paste the path. Just click enter and click on finish. Okay. So now it imported the project. Okay. So go to the pom.xml. It is showing some error. Okay. So in my system, we have a parent of with the version. So we have selected Spring. This is the Spring Boot version of Spring Boot parent. Okay. So 3.2.0. This is not compatible with the Eclipse version I have in my system. Okay. So I'm going to change that one with 2.3 2.0.3 release. Okay. So it is not necessarily to change to this one. If it is working in your system, then it is good. In some systems, it will not work because of the some compatibility. You can try different Spring Boot versions. Okay. So I'm currently using 2.3 2.0.3 release. Okay. So we have seen we are seeing this test folder error. We don't need this one right now. We are not going to create any test case. Okay. So let's do the Maven update to completely remove all the errors. Okay. So to you know to create a simple Spring Boot project, you must have Java 8 version. Okay. I have mentioned in the PPT. This is my PPT. I'm going to upload this one in video. You can download from there. Okay. So requisites of Spring Boot application. What are the necessary prerequisite of Spring Boot application? It should have Java 1.8. Okay. So Maven 3.0. Okay. Spring Boot framework. Uh, okay. And IDE. You can use Spring Tool Suite, or if you have Eclipse, you can use Eclipse. Okay. So let's go through this pom.xml. So pom.xml has a parent Spring Boot starter parent. This is the dependency. So which has all the dependencies which are required to run a Spring Boot application. Okay. So which has a dependency called starter also, which is by default added in the project when you create. So this is necessary to start the Spring Boot project. It has a Spring Boot starter test also. So this is for running the test. If you are going to create a test case, then it is useful for running the test case. Okay. So here you can see properties. In the properties, Java version is mentioned as a 17 because we have chosen as a 17. There was no Java version 8. So we have to change it to Java 1.8. Okay. So here you can see under build plugin. So we have chosen Maven as a Spring Boot project. Okay. So this is the build tool, Maven. So where you have to, in using this tool, you have to build a Spring Boot project. Okay. So it will come through, come by default when you choose a Maven as an option in the while generating a project. Okay. So now we have a Spring Boot application main class. So okay. So this main class has a annotation called Spring Boot application. So what this annotation will do is, so when you run this class, main class, so it will bootstrap the application to start, to deploy this project in a Tomcat server. So by Spring Boot project has by default Tomcat server in it. So we don't need to separately deploy this Spring Boot application in a Tomcat server. Okay. So how to run this one? So I will tell you. So let's print some comments. Okay, we will print hello world Spring Boot. Okay, right click, run as a Java application. This is the simple standalone application we are running. So you can see Spring Boot application has started the Spring Boot application. Okay, and we can see hello world Spring Boot. So which we are printing here in the main class. Okay, so this is how we create a Spring Boot, simple Spring Boot application. So from next video I am going to teach advantages of Spring Boot and what are the features of Spring Boot, limitations of Spring Boot, and how to with advanced Spring Boot features. Okay, thank you.